My name is Julia, and today I will be doing the BookTube Newbie Challenge, and this will be the first video that I'll be posting here on my YouTube channel, which will be called Gin and Juice Books. So, why did I start this channel? I started this channel because I want to be able to discuss my opinions about books with other people in a way that isn't just me yelling at my friends about all my feelings about books that they haven't read before and further alienating the few people who are willing to tolerate me in their lives. That's the main reason, and also college is starting up again in a few days and I need this sort of distraction to make it through the rest of my college life because I don't want to deal with studying or exams or the existential dread of going into the adult world not knowing what I want to do with my life. Whew, that's Anyways, let's move on from that. So, what are some fun and unique things that I can bring to BookTube? Well, I can bring my beautiful artistic skills. Yeah, I do a lot of bookish fan art actually on Instagram right now, and maybe like I could have the sort of content I could create could be aside from just like talking about my opinions on books. I can also do speed paints of bookish fan art. I can maybe take art requests. I can maybe do tutorials or I don't know. What do you guys want to see? We'll see. Maybe I'll do bookish crafts or something. That's something that I find very fun to watch when I'm on YouTube myself. Although, to be entirely fair, my favorite YouTube videos are the hot takes because sometimes you agree with the hot take and you're kind of glad that someone was willing to go there. So what am I most excited for about this new channel? Well, I am excited to talk to people about books, explain my opinions, and hopefully find people who have similar reading tastes to me, who can give me more recommendations because I'm going through a bit of a dry spell right now and I need more books to curb the sadness, the deep-welling sadness inside of me that refuses to go away, that is clawing away at my very soul. I miss my son. I miss Ben Solo. 4 years. I had him for 4 years and now he's gone. And I don't know how to fill this void that he's left behind in his absence. So, I need more book recommendations. I need to mourn the death of my beloved son, Ben Solo. And I gotta jump into a new series and alleviate that pain. I've been trying to read fanfiction for 3 weeks and it's not making things any easier. So what book or series got me into reading? Well, the easy answer is Harry Potter. I read that book when I was in 4th grade. It was recommended to me by my sister who, at the time, I think had just finished reading Deathly Hallows, and we have all 8 books. No, we had all 7 books in our home library. So I just breezed through them, loved them, became a huge Potterhead, still am honestly, even if JKR is a bit of a controversial figure right now. It's okay, the fandom is great. And that's the easy answer. But to be entirely fair, I think the book that really got me into reading was Twilight. Now hear me out. So in 5th grade, I read Twilight, okay? My sister was like, hey, this book's popular right now, you want to read it? And I was like, sure, let's do it. And then so in 5th grade, all the other girls in my class were reading Twilight. We all loved it. I was just like, oh my god, hashtag Team Edward, oh my god, I love him. And looking back, I'm like, oh, I have a type. Yeah, my type is rich people. Rich, good-looking people. That is exactly my type. Holy shit, that is exactly what I want out of life. I just want a good-looking rich man to come into my life and make me good-looking and rich too, and take away all of my problems. That's all I want. So I'm sorry, Jacob, but you're just not rich enough for this gold digger, okay? This 10-year-old gold digger. So, what questions would I ask my favorite booktubers? Well, I guess I would ask them how to edit a video. I don't actually know how to do that. I am going to go buy this whole YouTube channel, possibly just by doing one take, possibly cutting out little bits and pieces. I don't know how to add music. I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to write a script maybe, because right now I'm just like going off the cuff. I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm just rambling at you guys. But maybe as this channel progresses, I'll become a more coherent speaker. Maybe. No promises. Some booktubers, like Jordan Harvey and Cat from Paperback Dreams, are very eloquent speakers, and because they really make me think about what sort of books I'm reading, and they make me think more critically about like how I'm consuming this media, and I actually really appreciate that. So I want to be like them. I want to be cool, man. Like, let me be cool. What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Well, my lack of skills in video editing will be a very big challenge to overcome. I think also I'm not used to controlling my ramblings about books in a very coherent manner, so I have to learn how to better organize my thoughts and come up with interesting content for you guys to see. I also have to just in general learn better time management because I'm about to go back into school. I am doing a double major. I am going to be graduating in 2 semesters, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. So it's going to be a lot of managing my schedule and trying to figure out like how to fit all the pieces together, aside from posting bi-weekly, weekly, semi-weekly. We'll figure that out. So when did I start reading? I started reading in 4th grade, though I don't know what age exactly I started reading, like the first few words, although it was 4th grade when I got into Harry Potter, and that's when I became a really big book nerd. And from that point on, although to be fair, Twilight, back to Twilight, back on my bullshit. Twilight was what got me into like the genre in general. And I remember like I would read books like Hush Hush and Fallen by Lauren Kane. I was like, boo, you're just Twilight knockoff, okay? You'll never be as good as Twilight, okay? Although, if it comes to YA fantasy in general, as opposed to just YA paranormal romance, the book that got me into that was Fallen Kingdoms, actually, by Morgan Rose. I love that series, by the way. I had the whole series, except for the very last book, signed, because Morgan Rose came to my area, did a book signing, and I was like, oh my god, hi, how are you? Yes, that was a great moment. That was my first book signing, actually, and it was great. Oh, I loved it. Oh, second book signing, actually. That was so good. Like, she was so cool. I love her. So, where do I read? I usually read on my phone, right here. I read on iBook. Now I'm using a 2-month free trial of Kindle Unlimited. And I usually read on the bus when I'm going to class, or I read when I'm walking to class and I bump into people because I am 100% that bitch. And I sometimes read in bed at 4 a.m. when I should be sleeping, and instead I'm reading, shining white light into my face, and then I'm getting a terrible night's sleep, and I sleep through my alarms and miss class. It's a good time. And what kind of books do I like to read? Well, here are some books that are on my shelf. I have a lot of fantasy books. So I do read both traditionally published fantasy books and I read indie published fantasy books. And honestly, they're both great. Like, both have their own strength. For in general, I think that traditionally published fantasy books have more polish because they can afford to, like, it takes longer for them to come out, and they have like more people working on the books, like more editors, proofreaders, more betas. Usually, this is usually what's the case. It's not always the case, especially for bigger indie publishers. I also like to read indie books because these authors are not writing at the whim of a publishing house. They're writing on their own schedule, they're their own entrepreneur in that sense. And so usually, at least for Elise Koga, for instance, she basically released a new book every 3 or 4 months. And authors like Emma Ham also work on a similar schedule, and they're just releasing books very quickly, and so like they're very bingeable and like just very enjoyable. A lot of fresh content very regularly. And usually, because they don't have to go through all the hurdles of a traditional publishing house, I found a lot of very unique and interesting books via independent publishing that I don't necessarily find in traditional publishing, because traditional publishing requires a lot more money that gets put into it. So I can understand why publishing houses are a little more conservative in how they publish. But I've really found some great gems in both fields of both traditional and independent publishing. So just read both, best of both worlds. And so that is essentially the last question on the BookTube Newbie Tag. If anyone wants to introduce themselves, get to talking with me in the comments, please. I need people to yell at, or I need people to speak passionately with. And hopefully in the next few weeks I'll be having more videos for you guys. I have a few ideas already planned. Quick thing. So I guess like in general, some of my favorite books are, well, the series, anything that Elise Kova touches. really great. I like Margaret Rogerson. I like Holly Black. I sometimes enjoy Sarah J. Maas. I love Leigh Bardugo. My favorite author is Naomi Novik, and particularly her books Uprooted and Spinning Silver. That's my jam. That is the good Kush, fam. Anyways, thank you all for following me, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye!